Hello, everyone. This is Rick, and welcome to Astral Club. This is Planet Haven, the joining. Before we get into it, just want to mention a few things. First up, Patreon. If you'd like to support the work we do here on Astral Club, you can certainly do so on Patreon. When you join, you get a chat function to talk with everybody, direct message to me with your ideas, comments, and of course, advanced episodes on Sunday. If that sounds interesting, just go to the description. There's a link there. Next up, astral projection lessons. If you'd like a lesson, learn how to astral project, be happy to work with you. Work with folks now from, Australia to Europe and Asia and Canada and you name it. It's been a lot of fun and we've had a lot of good success. If that sounds interesting, just go to the description. There's an email there. Just ask for more information. Okay, Planet Haven, the joining. I always love being summoned to Planet Haven. This is like a holy experience for me. Anyway, I was summoned to Haven the way I usually am, with a scent of the Haven Sea and the feeling of absolute peace. Remember that I always have them wipe my mind of the ident for Haven, because I don't want to risk someone scanning me and not being able to protect their location. So the only way I can go there now is when they summon me. The planet unfolded beneath me like a watercolor that had finally forgiven its painter. Rolling lavender plains, forests that hummed instead of rustled, and that impossible sea, blue and green at the same time, as if Earth's oceans had gone to therapy and learned emotional balance. It was the abundance festival season. Haven does festivals the way cats do naps, seriously and with total commitment. From above, I could see the spiraling villages, soft globes of light floating in the air. The main sun was setting, while the smaller and more distant second sun of this binary rose, casting twilight shadows everywhere. I descended slowly, imagining the air smelled like honey, rain, and something citrusy that hadn't yet been invented on Earth. I landed beside a fountain that was shaped like giant golden suns. And there he was, Priest Peter. He looked younger somehow than when I saw him last, after I had taken him, or his spirit rather, to learn from the highly advanced plant race, the Havenites. He had clothed themselves in the simple linen robes of a learner, and his eyes had a calm shine that contrasted with the judgmental, old-fashioned man I remembered from our last meeting. I sensed he had finally attained the peaceful and openly loving demeanor that had previously eluded him. If you recall, this is an episode going back a ways, that I was assigned Peter. He had been a priest in a past life in the early 1900s, and he was my, student that I was supposed to train to take over as a guide. But he was still mired in all that judgmentalism that the Catholic Church had, in the early 1900s. And try as I may, it was just too difficult to change. That's when I had the idea to introduce him to the Havenites. I figured if anyone could help him find, his true self and peace without all that judgment, it would be them. So anyway, he said, "Rick," he said, smiling as if I were late for tea instead of arriving for another 1,000 light-year trip. "Welcome, brother. I'm so happy you responded to the summons." "Nice to see you too, Padre," I said. "You look annoyingly serene." He laughed, and the sound blended with the festival drums rolling through the streets. We walked through the market lanes. Stalls overflowed with fruits that provided the highly vibrating liquid nutrition for my intelligent plant friends, and there was like a glowing from the inside of them too. It was really cool. Peter told me about his time in the learning cloisters, lessons in patience taught by a species that communicates in color, exercises in forgiveness led by beings who remember every life they've ever lived, seminars on unconditional love that apparently included a lot of listening to waterfalls. I was not very good at first, he admitted. I kept trying to organize the Havenites and preach to them. Classic Peter, I remarked, but I've changed, he said softly, or perhaps I've been unwrapped. Then he told me why he'd asked me to come. I will be going through the joining, he said, tomorrow. I reacted suddenly. You're joining the Havenite plant race? I asked. He nodded. To be born among them, to feel the world through roots and light, to learn stillness the way they do, slow, wide, and kind. I searched his face for doubt, but I found none. You sure you want to trade sermons for photosynthesis? He smiled. I want to learn how to love without needing to speak. Well, it's hard to argue with that kind of a wish. The ceremony took place at dawn in a rocky grotto where the sea breathed against the cliffs like an old friendly animal. The water was that impossible haven green-blue color, and it kind of glowed at night too. It's really beautiful. And the sky looked freshly washed. The Havenites were already there. Tall, graceful beings with fibrous greenish-brown skin and eyes the color of new leaves. They moved with the courtesy of forests. Peter stood at the center on a circle of warm stone. He looked peaceful in a way that made my usual sarcasm feel slightly underdressed. A chime sounded, not heard so much as understood, and the elders began to sing in light. I mean, actual light. Notes of gold and violet drifted through the grotto, weaving around Peter like patient bees. I'll be honest with you, it's a good thing that I can't cry in the astral. He turned to me one last time. Thank you for being my witness and my sometime teacher, Rick. Hey, someone has to keep an eye on you, I said, managing a grin. Don't go turning into spinach and forgetting your old astral buddy. Luckily, my astral body, as I said, was unable to shed a tear, or I probably would have started leaking. I won't forget, he said. Roots remember. The joining unfolded slowly. Haven doesn't rush sacred things. Threads of luminous green rose from the stone and entered Peter's chest. His form softened, not disappeared, but translating. I felt it then, a quiet joy mixed with the ache of goodbye. The kind of feeling that doesn't fit in any earth language without causing structural damage. When it was over, there was no priest Peter standing there. But among the gathered plant folk was a young shoot, taller than the rest, leaves trembling with first breath. I knew him instantly, the same gentle stubbornness, the same thoughtful tilt. He didn't speak. He didn't need to. A wave of gratitude brushed my mind like warm wind. The festival began in earnest after that. There was music, feasting, Havenites flowing back and forth in time with waves washing against the shore. I lingered by the grotto as the new sun climbed ever higher, adding little to the current illumination. Good luck, Peter, I murmured. Enjoy being salad adjacent. The young plant shimmered, which I chose to interpret as laughter. I lifted away from Haven, with the taste of salted honey filling my awareness, thinking that maybe the universe is just a long classroom, and even the slower learners can find their answers if they search hard and long enough. Like a root, learning the language of light. If you like that, please hit the like button. Share it with those of like mind. Subscribe if you haven't already. And please, comments and questions. Would you like to visit Haven and see a ceremony like that? I can tell you, it's a once in a lifetime thing. The beauty is, by definition, unearthly, but it is. I can't even describe it anymore without probably generating a tear. It's just so beautifully lovely, and it's incredible. I can't find the words. Anyway, this is Rick, and I will see you on the astral plane.